Hi everyone, Emma here from Mighty Lance Games, and I've just realised that we haven't done a games review of our favourite game. So I'm here to tell you all about Muffin Time. Now, there's probably a couple of reasons why we haven't done a game review on Muffin Time yet, despite the fact that we've been playing it as an MLG family for ages, and we've also had it in stock at Mighty Lance Games for a very long time. One reason is probably time. There's not really enough time in the day to get everything in, and as you can probably tell if you've watched any of our other game reviews, I'm in a slightly different configuration today for this one. Normally film them on my telephone, but this one's actually on the computer, so it's a strange border going on around and things like that. So I hope that's okay. And the second reason, I think, is also because even though we absolutely love this game and definitely recommend it to everyone that we talk to, when you explain it, it doesn't sound quite as cool as it really is. So I'll try my best. We play this game. It is for ages 13 plus and for 2 to 8 players, and we play this with Little Miss. We play it as a family. We've played it with my mum and dad. We play it on games nights. We play it when friends just pop round, adult friends, kids' friends. Like, it's really a great game to have on your shelf for games night, just getting games night started, just for a bit of a laugh, a bit of a giggle. Muffin Time is the one that you want. So let's have a quick look. This is the demo copy from the shop, but genuinely it's never made it to the shop because it's always here at home with us playing it. Oopsie, I think we need another copy. So it comes in this square box. The lid comes off like that, slides off just like that, and then inside the box you get the rules and cards. Those are cards, so we'll come back to those in a moment. So these are the rule sheet. So that's it, just 2 sides of rules. It's not got a lot of rules because the cards have instructions on them and they tell you what to do. So the rules are just here to give you a general idea. So what does it say? Are we ready? The aim of the game. To win the game and become the master of all things muffin, you need to start your turn with exactly 10 cards in your hand. So that's how you win. If we've gone round and it's my turn now and I have 10 cards in my hand, then I win. There is a little bit more to it than that, but that's the general rule. So you set things up. Set this game up is really, really easy, and it is. The rules are correct on that. First, shuffle the deck for as long as you can be bothered. Genuinely says that. Next, place it in the middle of the table, room, dog, and choose your trustworthiest to deal out 3 cards to each player face down. So you shuffle the cards. There are a lot of cards, so you shuffle them in sections if you want to. And then each person playing gets 3 cards. Now remember, the aim of the game is to end your turn with 10 cards. Okay? So you get 3 cards, face down. The person who suggested playing the game gets to go first. Why? Because they're a control freak. That's what it says. That's what it says in the game. That's why we like big potato games. They always put in little daft stuff even in the rules. It's like, it's just for fun, just a bit of fun. You can play clockwise or counterclockwise. Nothing in life matters anyway. It's nice, isn't it? At the very start of your turn, you can place a trap card. Now, the trap cards have red borders around them so that you can tell easily that they're trap cards. They also say trap on them at the bottom corner, but they've got bright red border around, so it makes it nice and simple. So, at the start of your turn, you can place 1 trap card from your hand, so the 3 cards that you're holding. If you want to, you don't have to. It goes face down in front of you and sits there menacingly, and genuinely it does sit there menacingly, until a player activates it. As soon as this happens, flip it over, read it out loud, and once the effect has been resolved, it goes in the face-up discard pile. Okay? So it's literally a trap. So they say things on them like, for example, in the rules, "We there yet? If another player complains about the game taking too long, steal their cards." So if you've got that card face down in front of you on the table, and another player complains about the game taking too long, doesn't matter if it's your turn or not, you go, ha ha, trap card, and then you read it out, and then, unless it's countered, you can steal their cards. So that's why they sit there menacingly. You can have up to 3 trap cards, and nobody knows what they are apart from you. So the other players have to remember not to do certain stuff, like don't complain. There's one that's like, if somebody takes a drink of something, there's a trap card. So they do sit there menacingly. You're like, I can't do that because I might get trapped. There are also action cards. They have blue borders and the word action on them, but they're blue borders. So red for trap, blue for action. Action obviously is as it sounds. They perform an action. And again, all the cards have the writing on them. So you know what the action is. You don't have to keep referring back to the rules. The cards tell you what the cards do. So it's your turn. You've placed a trap card face down if you want to. You can have up to 3. And now you get to choose whether you draw a card from the deck, so you add in to your hand because you need to get to 10, or you can play 1 action card from your hand, the blue border action cards. And they do all sorts of stuff. Disrupt the game, get you more cards, take cards away from other people, just do silly stuff. Yeah, so the examples here are steal 1 card from another player, all players who can't drive discard a card, steal another player's hand and give them your own. So if yours is really rubbish, you can take somebody else's and give them yours. So that's your action cards. Whenever you play an action card, read out loud what it says so everyone can hear, because that's important, because we don't all want to be leaning into the middle of the table trying to figure out what you're trying to do. So you read it out when you place the action card. Send that card to this card pile when you're finished and it's time for the next player's turn. So in your turn, you can put a trap card face down, and if you want to, and then you either pick a card up from the middle or play an action card that's in your hand. If you pick a card up from the middle and the action card is awesome, you've got to wait until your next turn. You don't get to play it because that's your turn over. And then the rules say, hold it right there. If something happens and you're unhappy about it, you can whip out a counter card. Counter cards have green borders and the word counter on them. And stop another player in their tracks. You can play these whenever you like, even when it's not your turn. So if somebody else is trying to trap or action another player and you don't like that, that's not going to your game plan, you can use a counter card to help them out. Yeah? Some of the action cards say all players must do something. So it's Fred's turn and Fred's put an action card down that says all players must do something and you say no. As long as your counter card has the correct writing on it to counter that action or trap or whatever, you can play that counter card and stop them. Stop their evil plans in their tracks. So some of the counter card examples in the rules are not today. Stop the current action card, trap or counter card. So you can counter cards. Dog with a knife. Stop the current trap card. And there's little pictures. There's a picture of the dog with a knife. No! With 3 exclamation marks. Stop the current action card and add it to your hand. So the counter cards say on them, just like the trap cards say on them and the action cards say on them, all the cards tell you what they do. So it makes it easier just to play the game. It does say, remember, not the 5th of November, but remember, make sure you read your counter cards very carefully before you play them, because you need to make sure that it's going to be correct. You're going to counter the correct thing. And you don't want to get it wrong, and all the other sneaky people playing with you now know what your counter card says. So just make sure you read them before. At any point in the game, whether it's your turn or not, because somebody might have actioned that you have to pick up 3 cards, and it's not your turn yet, but everyone's got to pick up 3 cards. So, at any point in the game, as soon as you've got exactly 10 cards in your hand, you must shout, "It's Muffin Time!" You don't have to say it as silly as that, but you have to say, "It's Muffin Time." And that lets everybody else in the game know that if you get back to your turn and you've still got 10 cards, then you've won. So they've got to stop you. That's their call to action, to stop you however they can from winning. And if it gets back round to you and you've got your 10 cards still in your hand, exactly 10 cards still in your hand, you've won! Yay! But obviously everyone's out to get you now because you've announced that it's Muffin Time and that you could potentially win. And then there's a few more little queries and stuff. For example, can I say it's Muffin Time when it's not your turn? Yes. As soon as you get exactly 10 cards, it's Muffin Time. Was my trap counter card too late? Maybe. If you're using a trap or counter card, you should be pretty speedy. If it's already the next player's turn, you're probably too late. Do I get to look at players' cards before stealing them? No. If a card says steal, it means take a card at random without looking, unless it specifically says otherwise. That makes sense, doesn't it? What happens if multiple cards are played at once? Then you just take a breath. You start with the first card and you work your way through. So someone could put an action card down, somebody else could put a counter card down, somebody could counter that counter card, and then somebody could counter the counter card. So you just have to go, whoa, okay, and then just take it in process. That's all. Just, go through it step by step. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What's in my hand? Any cards you're holding that you haven't yet played, a placed trap card, or an action counter card you're currently playing is not in your hand. So if you put your trap cards down face down, they don't count towards the 10 in your hand. It's only what's in your hand that's 10. Okay, does that make sense? Doesn't that make sense? What happens if something happens that wasn't covered in the rules? Says the rules. Argue about it until the majority of players agree an outcome. Try not to resolve with violence. It's very, very good. I wouldn't resolve it with violence. We've never had an issue that we couldn't resolve because the cards are pretty self-explanatory. So that's the little rules. That's all you need to know from the rules. The cards themselves. Look at all them. Yeah, they're cards. Ooh. So the first one here is shoot it down. So there's a little picture of a rocket and a cow. You see that? Maybe see that. And it says stop the card magical pony and draw 4 cards yourself. So if somebody has played the card magical pony and you have this counter card, you can go, haha, no, I get to draw 4 cards myself. Does that make sense? There's this one. Falling up. So that's falling up. That's an action card, blue border action card. Reverse the direction of play. Now that can cause some mischief. There's all sorts of, what's this one? Single. Oh, look at the sad card. Looking all sad and lonely. So on his own. If this is your only card, draw 10 cards. So you can play this action card. So you've played it. It's out of your hand now. You can draw 10 cards if nobody counters you. And then you say Muffin Time. And then next time it gets round to you, you could win. Woohoo! Easy peasy. Now, apart from there's a card called Muffin Time, which doesn't really do anything super special that we've noticed. There's no reference to muffins at all. I don't know why it's called Muffin Time. I think it's something to do with the artist. Somebody said, but absolutely no idea. But it doesn't matter. It's just silly. So it's awesome. I hope that I've kind of explained it and you think, oh, that's cool, I'll give it a go. It is really cool because it doesn't really matter who you're playing with and whether you've played it before or not. It's always different because you've always got different cards and they all do different things. But once you've played it a couple of times, you kind of learn not to do stuff. So like I said before, there's trap cards that if you stand up and leave the table, you get trapped. If you put your cards down, you get trapped. I got caught out and it was very, very mean because we were playing with some new people that hadn't played before, and I was saying when it was their turn to keep the game flowing because a bit of a control freak. So I was saying, like, George, it's your turn. Fred, it's your turn, etc. And one of the trap cards is if somebody says your name. And Fred had if somebody says your name. So I went, sweet, nobody was playing. I was like, oh, Fred, it's your go. Aha! And then they trapped me on purpose because they're a big meanie and I was only trying to be helpful. But that's the point of the game. So it's just fun, and you end up not really wanting to move or do anything in case someone's got a trap card, but you need to get to 10 cards. So it is lots of fun. And then some of the cards are, some of the action cards are like little mini games. So everyone take a selfie, so you get a group shot of you all playing Muffin Time and things like that. It's really good. It's just silly fun. It's not too tasking on the brain. You don't have to, it's not strategy, it's not role-playing or anything like that. It's not, trying to shoot somebody or win in that way. It's just silly. It's just silly, fun, awesome for games nights, awesome for family nights, awesome for rainy days, a great Christmas present, a great birthday present, a great welcome to your new home present. Play this game at your home welcoming event. I don't know, there's a proper word for that, I know there is. It's really good, and you can get it at Mighty Lancer Games in Bridlington and on our website www.mightylancergames.co.uk, and I really think that you will have fun. If fun, daft, quick, fun, silly card games are what you're all about, then definitely get Muffin Time from us. If fun, daft, silly card games you're not quite sure about, but you enjoy playing games with your friends, get Muffin Time from Mighty Lancer Games. Muffin Time. Get Muffin Time.